What's going on, guys? T2RX6 here, back for another third-party review, and today we're taking a look at the Newage Hynkel? I don't know how you say it. It's Megatron. And I gotta say, I did not think I was getting the Newage one, but I heard how great it was, and I was like, well, okay, fine. I'll get the toy version, and then I'll get the Magic Square regular one. And, I mean, I'm not disappointed with that decision, but in person, I like this guy a whole lot better than I thought I was going to. Obviously, you've got the silencer and the stock attached, so if you just want Megatron without, he looks like this. If you are a safety enthusiast, he does come with his orange cap that, you know, it just twisted out, so that will be in the box forever and ever. So let's look at some other accessories. So obviously we've got the stock and the barrel here, and they can actually just kind of clip together like this, and then you can put the scope on top / fusion cannon, and you have this dealie for Megatron. He comes with the obligatory purple pistol, purple energy mace, 2 pairs of pointing hands, a pair of splayed open hands, the key to Vector Sigma, a face that is open and laughing, and then he has this piece. He had that piece. Okay, after way too much time having to search for that, we're back. He has this piece, and I'm not really sure what it's supposed to do. It's not in the instructions. So if you know what this is for, please let me know. So if you're one of the initial premium people, you ended up getting some of these little effect parts, and I guess that's like the first release of this toy. As far as I can see, they don't seem to peg into the gun, not without like forcing them on, and I don't want to scuff up any paint, so I'm not going to do that. So that takes that out. If you had this in its cannon mode, like it doesn't really work here either. So that's kind of out. You got the fusion cannon. This one definitely works, but you can't really put any of the other ones on there. These ones here, they don't really work. This doesn't really work. So then you come to the gun here, and originally I thought, well, okay, this does seem sized to fit the tip of the gun here, but I mean, you got a lot of space showing. But it doesn't, I guess that's what it's for. I assume so, at least. I don't know. It feels like that's what it should be for, but at the same hand, it doesn't really look right because it's not coming out right of the gun. Maybe that should have been a clear purple if that was going to be what that's for. But these do. I mean, this one doesn't peg on there. I can't get this one to peg at all. So I don't know. I assume that it's supposed to be for these energy effects. If I'm wrong, please let me know. I don't think it necessarily looks good, and I can't really get all of them on. There we go. There's that. So real quick before we go to his robot mode, obligatory GoBot and Grand National, I feel like the rest of the scales don't really matter in this case. So transforming this guy is probably the best of the gun Megatrons, maybe even over G1. Yeah, it's really quite an enjoyable process, I would say. So we're gonna start by pulling off the fusion cannon, and we can take this piece down. Take this whole thing and rotate it down and out of the way. So from here, we're gonna go ahead and work on some of the top pieces up here. And you start by pulling this piece out here, and that's gonna open all this up. And then you can take this piece and bring it out like that. And you can see we pretty much exposed all of his arms. So we're going to take this piece, fold it on in, take this piece, and fold it around like so. And then that should kind of clip in there. And you can fold that down. So that takes care of the one side here, and we can actually take it out to the very side because that is going to kind of close up on the abdomen. So over here we'll do the second side. This one here actually pulls out, and then this folds up and in place. And like I said before, make sure that we kind of have the arms looking the right way And there we go. Like that. So from here, since we have the clearance, I like to go ahead and work on the legs. So we're going to open up these. There is like a angled piece here, so you can't just split the legs. It'll prevent that from happening. But these can fold all the way up, like so. And then you can bring his actual thighs down. Which I think, like, this kind of looked ugly to me in pictures. And it's not the nicest, but it's a lot less bad looking in person compared to the pictures. So from here, take this red piece, bring it up, and close that on each side. This black piece is going to rotate all the way around, so the handguard is in the other position. Take this piece, fold it back, whoops, and you'll have to take the little hammer and bring that on in, and then you can fold these in place. So with the legs done, we're going to rotate this around. You can see we have the bottom half of Megatron done. Alright, so hopefully I have the where we were. I had to take a break because I was coughing up a lung. So anyway, we're going to start by separating this. We're going to bring the chest around here, and let's get this sorted. This little red piece here should have the gray bit brought all the way back as far as it can go. The trigger comes forward into the handle guard here where it's kind of cut out. And that's going to make sure we have enough room. And you're going to take the red piece and slide it in. And it's a little bit tight here, but it should fit through to the front of the robot here. And that's how you'll know you have it in the right place. And you can just keep pulling this piece down. In the process, you see the head kind of came up. We're going to take this piece here and fold it all the way up so it makes that cannon on his back. Take this piece here and just kind of push it down in place there. And then the arms come up here and clip on both sides. And finally from here, we're going to just rotate these in to complete the arms. If you want the fusion cannon, which I'm sure you do, you need either a spudger or a fingernail, and you can swivel that out, and then that's just going to peg right into there. And yeah, I mean, this is a really nice looking Megatron. The crotch doesn't look nearly as bad as it tended to in pictures. He's got good posability, a great little presence, and like, this is the toy version, which has the shiny metal. And I really like it. Like, I'm glad I got the toy version just because of the shine to the metal. I kind of want the G1 version to go with my Magic Square Prime, but, you know, I'll get the Magic Square Megatron and we'll kind of compare the two. So, at the very least, I'm happy that I have this guy. The extra pops of red from the toy, I think just look really, really sharp on this guy. The only thing I'm not hugely in love with, and I know it's again the toy thing, the yellow eyes, they could be a little more brilliant. I feel like they kind of get lost on the silver here, but that's really quite a minor gripe. If you want to give him his gun, you certainly can do that. It just pegs right on into his hand there. So does the mace. If you want him to hold it, you can alternatively take the hand off and just kind of plug it into his arm, kind of like when him and Prime were battling on the dam. I will say it doesn't necessarily hold it in there that well, but it can be done. The key to Vector Sigma also just slots right in there. And if you want to swap out his face, you are going to need something like a spudger, because my hand can't do it. I don't know, maybe yours can, maybe you don't need it. But all it does is just unpeg and go in. I mean, like, that looks fantastic. I think I'm keeping that face on him because it feels so maniacal looking. I really like him. So let's do some size comparisons. Here he is next to the Magic Square Prime, and that scale is pretty perfect. I don't really have any complaints. Jazz, Bumblebee, Mech Fans Toys Ultra Magnus, and I think that's all I have handy. Oh, here we go. Here's one more for you. Here's the Magic Square Trailbreaker. So I feel like the scale and size, it's perfect. I have no complaints. So let's get this guy back to his alt mode and let's get out of here. I've already started by taking off the fusion cannon. I'm just gonna go ahead and bring the gun around because why not? From here, kind of pop this up and you should be able to push all of this through like that, and we can go ahead and bring this gray piece forward, and you can kind of move the trigger to about where you want it to be. We'll take these and we'll unplug them from the sides, take the chest piece, rotate it around so the head kind of goes there, and we can now rotate all this stuff up and close it up. From here, let's go ahead and just bring the legs down just to give us a little bit of extra clearance. And let's work on the legs, why not? We'll spin them around, I believe. I'll double check that in a second. We're gonna take these pieces out, flip these pieces all the way around, take the red bits and bring them all the way around. The black pieces, make sure you have the clearance, but they're gonna swivel all the way around also. There we go. We can go ahead and peg all this stuff together, and you do want to make sure that this is lined up as best you can, because that is going to affect, oh, the little hammer piece needs to come down. But that is going to affect the way things fit together in the alt mode if all this stuff is not really well aligned coming in. And that means like all these pieces need to peg in, like your knees and stuff need to be in the same position. This red piece should look good. The back piece should be closed. If that stuff is even like slightly off, it is going to affect us when we get to the final few steps. So go ahead and close the one and then close the other and secure the back of the gun. From here, let's work on the hands. Actually, we'll bring this down and we can actually plug this in right now. There we go. So it should look kind of like that, and you can move the trigger wherever you want it to be. There we go. I think like there looks good to me. So from here, we're going to work on the arms. For the one arm, we're going to telescope it in, bring this piece out and this piece around. And then this one is the easy one because it just goes inside that chest cavity there. The second arm here is a little more complex. The first thing to do is kind of close this piece and separate it. Actually, open up the little silver flap here and then pull that piece out. From here, you can kind of hold the tab and get all this rotated in like that. Bring this piece up, bring this around like so, and then we're gonna adjust the positioning here on the gun. And this piece is, like I said, it's a little bit harder. You want to clear that bottom piece, and then it's all kind of gonna fit right in place, and this takes a little bit of persuasion to kind of clip that together, get this in, fold this silver piece down, but once it's in place, you should see that you have the slot right here, and we're like 90% done. We'll just take him at his knees. They should rotate so that the little screw pivots here should end up matching here. And then with that in place, you should be able to, and sometimes it's a little difficult, but you should be able to get that all plugged in and real tight. And actually, I have things better aligned this time than I did at the beginning of the video. I don't know if you noticed there was a couple little gaps here on the side, and that's all just because something in here probably wasn't quite tabbed right. But yeah, that's Megatron. And that is a super fun Megatron transformation. Like, I don't know. The MP ones are always so frustrating. The G1 Megatron's not bad, but like he's a frustrating toy. Like this is by far the best articulated Megatron with the least frustrating transformation. I don't even know if the old DX9 one transforms in a way that is more fun and as well executed. I mean, it's definitely not nearly as well executed because that one kind of stinks compared to this one. But I don't know if when I say well executed, if the transformation was easier than this one or not. I can't really remember, but I can recommend this. So this is T2RX6. I hope you guys enjoyed the review, and I'll see you next time. And we will definitely look at the Magic Square one in the future. See you later.